did that show for over 140 episodes. I mean, crazy. What was it like to have the longevity of playing a character for over 9-10 years?
Felt like, 1,000 episodes.
With a film you come in and you sort of encapsulate the character, even if it's a long shoot, 6 months, 9 months maximum, with the television series, it's years and there's breaks, and how do you sort of maintain and develop, especially not knowing where the story's gonna end up?
Well, in a show that lasts that long, it's in any actors will tell you this, the first few years are the most interesting because you're developing the show, you're trying to find it and see what it is, and once you find it, then you just don't want to break it after that, so you have to try to maintain its integrity as long as you can. So the best years for me were like the first 4 or 5 years, where I had a lot of freedom by then in the show. They trusted me, and he was a very interesting character, my character, and I developed him into this certain kind of persona, and that was the most fun for me, those first few years. And then the rest of the show, you just have to kind of try to maintain its integrity for the rest of the run, or as long as it's going to last. And then, then we just had enough, and Wolf and I decided to just stop it. But it was, it was one of the most fun characters that I'll ever play in my whole career. It was a very successful character, and I'm reminded of it all the time, so I think about it often.
And with then going over to Daredevil, what was your sort of? Did you have any hesitancy going back into television in that way?
I did, but I also watched the whole streaming thing be born, and saw what kind of story content was happening in streaming. With Netflix and such, and so it didn't take us actors long to figure out that this is an opportunity that we have to get involved in, and it's really unlike network television. Not that network television can't be awesome, because I just did Emerald City with them, and
exactly.
And
we want to talk about that
too. And that was really fun, but it was leaning towards that kind of streaming version of television, even that network show. So, we knew it was a different thing, and we knew that it was going to have a different feel. When you do a streaming show these days, it's like doing a giant film. The writing is very filmic, and it's shot in a very cinematic way, and everything is taken care of. With a company like Netflix and Marvel, they really do take care. There's no slouches on those shows. Everybody's really top notch and knows what they're doing, so you feel like you're in good hands.
And it shows with the product. I mean, Daredevil and the whole MCU is just so amazing in what they've done with the Marvel comics.
And Charlie Cox, I mean, he's amazing.
He's
Charlie.
So good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So good. And so are you, by the way, in that show. You can yell. It's okay. You can yell as much as you want. It's Vincent D'Onofrio. So let's talk about Emerald City. Your portrayal again of the wizard, it's a little bit of a diversion from, we're used to seeing behind the curtain, behind the cloak, and that was not what your takeaway was.
Right, no, well, we use that as a kind of metaphor for his psychology. This kind of person that's really not much in real life, who needs to become, he suffers from worthlessness, and he has to make up for it in other ways. And so we use that psychology from the man behind the curtain to kind of he used to project this image, and so my wizard also projected an image, also, but in a psychological way, so that people would treat him differently than what he thought he was worth, And the wizard is a strange dude, man. It's one of those kind of shows. I used to tell my friends that they'd say, "So what are you doing?" Like they're always curious, like what I'm trying to pull off, And I'm like, this is either gonna be like my last job, or people are gonna love it. I mean, it's like he's got a lot of layers, that guy. He's one of the most pathetic human beings I've ever played in my life. Yeah.
And what attracted you to playing that role then?
Well, just that, just the idea of developing this thing within such an iconic story, And, it was Tarsem Danoir directing, and Tarsem and I did The Cell together.
Another phenomenal performance by you.
Yeah, I was doing Magnificent Seven, and by the way, do you guys remember Magnificent Seven?
Yes.
Do you remember the Native American in Magnificent Seven?
Yes.
Yeah.
Martin Sensmart? Well, he's here, you guys. He's in the audience somewhere. Where are you, Martin? Stand up, Martin. There he is. We all became brothers on that film, and we all still are. He's a little punk, but I love him to death.
Well, okay, so
I was doing that movie, and
Okay.
I'll keep it moving. I got to keep it moving.
no, I just have so many questions.
Okay.
There's so many characters
Okay, so
to get to.
yes, so I'm doing Magnificent Seven, and Tarsem's agent showed up on set because he represented somebody else on set. I don't remember who. And I said to him, "What's Tarsem up to?" And he said he's doing, a new version of The Wizard of Oz. And right away I said, "Well, who's playing
The Wizard.
Who's playing the Wizard?" And he said, "I don't know." I said, "Well, call him." And so I asked it, and I said, Tarsem, I want to play the Wizard. He goes, "You're in." And I was like,
That's great. It was a lot easier than putting yourself on tape a bunch of times, like you had to do for Kubrick, right?
yeah.